All I talk is crack, I can get the brick out. Yeah, it's crazy reminiscing every decision I made. Yeah, I was fucked up. I put in the work and never, no nigga can ever just say that I looked up.
Good morning, y'all. It's such a beautiful morning. Such a beautiful morning. Such a beautiful morning. My baby. Now I can calm down a little bit. I can calm down a little bit. But I'm still going to advocate because I want better for our kids. No, everybody and the people that they recruited, that he was too much for their ass. Yeah. Some motherfucking kids killed my son. And you got two motherfuckers that was his age or older. Like you sorry ass motherfuckers. But I forgave y'all. But I can talk my shit now. Oh yeah, I can vent. I forgave y'all already. Just to let y'all know, I forgive y'all. Now maybe God gonna forgive y'all.
Maybe not, Mama Duck. Dudes like that, I'm not even sure if they believe in God. But God does forgive everyone. That's what they say, right? I want to say, I'm happy for you. I'm just happy to see that you have some joy on your face and that you're a step closer to getting justice for your son, because that's what I believe, and I hope everyone out there that ever tried to do anything with this case that was not qualified to do anything with this case feels too. We all know that this won't bring Duck back, but maybe you and his children can just have a little peace of mind for a second while you go through this. But understand that you got supporters out here, and we're all here watching and rooting for you. Much love to you and your family, Mama Duck. Let's move on.
I'm Brad Edwards. Right to breaking news. A major development in the murder of a Chicago rapper, gunned down in the middle of the day in the Gold Coast.
CBS 2's Stephen Graves is live at FBI headquarters with this big break in the investigation. Stephen.
Brad, Erica, that break coming with multiple arrests of gang members. Those who were involved in what the feds say were multiple crimes throughout the city, explaining that murder in broad daylight, they say, was done for a reason. The barrage of gunshots caught on video is hard to forget. The shooting, police believe, was committed by 4 people who jumped out of 2 cars on a busy Gold Coast street, traumatized shoppers, and killed Chicago rapper FBG Duck in August of last year.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here.
Now, more than a year later, Chicago police, the FBI, and federal prosecutors announcing charges, all against 5 men who they say are all members of the O Block street gang.
That these 5 individuals...
The majority of them picked up Wednesday morning near 63rd and King on Chicago's south side.
The indictment also charges...
Federal prosecutors getting involved because they say the group is responsible for an elaborate string of crimes connected to the shooting. Some involved drug trafficking and violent crimes to protect other members. The murder of rapper FBG Duck, also known as Carlton Weekly, was believed by law enforcement to be one of the acts that helped with, quote, maintaining and increasing positions in O Block. Prosecutors also used social media and music videos to build a case. They say the men used both to publicly claim acts of violence, taunt rival gangs, and again, improve ranking and status. Chicago police and the feds today saying they hope this speaks to the public and those hoping to commit similar criminal acts.
We are serious about our collaboration together, the federal partners.
There are now 5 people in custody who weren't in custody before. And now it's known to them, and it's known to anybody else who might be committing similar acts of brazen violence, right? And who may brag about it or not brag about it, that their day has come.
And federal prosecutors did not go into too many details about the arrests, including, say, the rank and file of these members within the gang. They do say they continue to investigate many connected crimes. Reporting at Chicago's FBI headquarters, Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News.
Okay, as you can hear, obviously, these gentlemen aren't playing. The feds are in town. They picked up these individuals. They actually charged them with a racketeering conspiracy case, which falls under the RICO Act. Now, I'm going to break down what a RICO Act consists of. But first, let's go over the 5 individuals that they have in custody now. They have Charles Liggins, a.k.a. C. Murder, Kenneth Roberson, a.k.a. Kenny Mac. Now, Kenny Mac is the individual that they said is already in custody for a different murder. Then they have Carlos Alford, a.k.a. Los, Christopher Thomas, a.k.a. C-Thing, and Marcus Smart, a.k.a. Muwap, which would probably be the most notable one, being that he was the individual that hit Quando Rondo during the King Von incident. And now I know you heard them in the news clip. Now this individual's name is Zell Muna. He was a young individual that took his own life this past August. Not only did he take his own life for whatever his reasons are, some say that they think that the pressure was getting to him. Some say he might have said something. But he was also the brother of T. Roy, HK, and their older brother, Mark Blakely, which I reported on during the King Von incident. That is one of King Von's closest homeboys that lost his life that same night. If you go back to the King Von finale, you'll see a whole piece on Slutty, Mark Blakely. He's the brother of all the other 3 gentlemen that I just named. So you have 4 gentlemen that lost their lives due to gun violence that were brothers. And this is another one that took his life. So we're not sure why he took his life, but that is the 6th individual that they speaking of. Now, I had some of the indictment papers just playing on the screen so you could read through them, because I really want to go back and focus on this Chicago Tribune article, because the news clip basically went over majority of what you're reading on the indictment papers that you see on the screen as you hear my voice. Now I'm going to pull up this Chicago Tribune article because there's a couple things I want to point out and discuss within this article. Okay, let's get to that now. What's up, guys? Right now we're going to take a brief intermission, tell you to subscribe. We're trying to get our subscribers up. We're getting a lot of watch time. People are subscribing, so we're going to try to get our subscribers up. And follow us at AudioCrack22 on all platforms. Thank you. Okay, I want to discuss this gentleman by the name of Carlos Alford. Now, Carlos Alford, his name came over to 911 dispatch audio.
But there also was a black Ford Fusion that was involved in this with Illinois license plate Boy Young 19386.
Also a black Ford Fusion involved with the plate of Boy Union 19386.
Boy Young, squad, Boy Young.
Boy Young 19386.
What's the plate on that Ford Fusion?
That's Boy Young 19386. Boy Young 19386. And that comes back to Carlos Alford.
If you would have listened to it all the way through, you would have heard them read back a license plate, and the vehicle came back to Carlos Alford. Now, a lot of people, including myself, all looked up to Carlos Alford, and we seen that he hung with O Block. He's not actually from there, but he hangs with them a lot. Now, I have to be honest. I got to be honest with y'all. When I heard that name, and then I did my research just like everyone else did. Also, Duck Case. Shout out to Duck Case. We spoke on that also. For myself, I couldn't gather that these individuals will be that brazen and that dumb to do something out of their own vehicle. So that's why I couldn't run with that, because it's like, how could you take your own vehicle to downtown Chicago, hop out and do something in your own vehicle? So I have to say I was wrong. I couldn't make sense of that. So that's what brings me to the Chicago Tribune article. Now let's go over this article. Feds. Gang member bought a car in slang of Chicago rapper FBG Duck, then returned it. Okay. A reputed Chicago gang member used his own name to purchase a car used in the slaying of Duck. Now, this is the vehicle that I speak of that was heard over the airwaves that same day. Then he returned the vehicle less than 2 hours later when the dealership accused him of lying on a financial application, prosecutors said in the detention hearing Friday. So what they're saying is this gentleman purchased this vehicle, went and did this brazen act down on Oak, and right after that drove straight to the dealership and turned the vehicle in. Now, I can see how this gentleman could go back to his neighborhood or go back to O Block thinking nothing is going on because he feels like, shit, I turned that car in. But what happened was, I believe, once the YouTubers got a hold of the 911 and started doing their due diligence, as they usually do, he heard his name come over them airwaves. So whatever happened in between that point, he knew it was just a matter of time. Same with the young man that took his life. He knew that it was just a matter of time because his name was out there and no one was letting this case go, basically because of where it was done and how it was done. I mean, you gotta be like one of the, I couldn't make sense of that. So that's the reason why I couldn't go with that. But they did that. So why would you take your own vehicle down here and do something of that magnitude in broad daylight? So you working with some individuals that just ain't wrapped too tight. And I hope you can understand why I couldn't see that. I just couldn't see it happening. So I couldn't go that route. So I'm wrong. I have to say I'm wrong. I got to apologize and say that I'm wrong about this. I just couldn't believe that. Now, out of the 4 that was taken in the other night, to Carlos is the only one that is held without a bond as of now. And I believe that's because his vehicle was spotted and it's on cameras and they know that that's his vehicle. Now, the second vehicle, which is the gray Chrysler, belonged to Mr. Kenny Mack. Now, like I said before, Kenny Mack is already in custody fighting a murder. So that's neither here nor there. He wasn't going nowhere. And I believe he wouldn't have went anywhere anyway because his vehicle was spotted also. So all 5 of these individuals are in federal custody waiting for court, and it's just not looking good for O Block. It's not looking good for these gentlemen. It's just not looking good all the way around. Now I want to go to the second part of this Chicago Tribune article because I believe that this is very important and I want to speak a little bit about that. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, let's go down to the 3rd paragraph and read that. The 11-page indictment unsealed Wednesday alleged those charged are members of O Block, a violent faction of the Black Disciples that has publicly claimed responsibility for violence and used social media and music to increase their criminal enterprise. Now, what that says to me is all this time I've been trying to tell you young dudes, stop showing everything you got on social media. Stop putting your guns on social media. Stop claiming this body. Stop rapping about this. And here it is. Now you finally have the example of why you shouldn't do that. Because these gentlemen are going to go, they're trying to give these gentlemen a death penalty. So if any of you young dudes is listening to me talk right now, they're trying to give these young men the death penalty. The oldest is 30 years old. They will spend the rest of their lives with men. That's all I'm saying, away from their families. So I just wanted to point that out because I've been trying to tell this and I've been trying to push this message and this narrative because I just don't understand it. Again, I'm a little older, so I don't come from the phone era. Now, I understand the phone era now, but I didn't. I had to get to understanding it. So I got to understand where they're coming from because they're born in this, but I can't make sense of it. But here now I have an example that I can always go back to prove what I'm trying to push, which is protect yourself. You guys get mad, all you young dudes get mad at people on YouTube. Oh, y'all snitching, y'all. No, we're looking at what you post and you're snitching on yourself. We're just reporting it because it's public information and it has to do with whatever the situation is that we're talking about at the time. If you never recorded it, we don't report it. That's all I'm trying to say. So to all you young fellas out there, to take heed to this. I know you guys probably seen Muwap and all them and you thought it was cool. They was online and they was smoking, getting high, doing whatever they do, showing guns, whatever, rapping about the same, just basically the same murder that they committed allegedly. But if they didn't commit it, they're rapping about the same acts, exactly how it happened. So how you don't think you will still get not questioned? They'll still question you. Ask Spot 'em got 'em. Same thing. He rapped about an individual in a whole nother state from him, and they were looking for him to question him about it because the rap seemed similar to how the murder happened. You young niggas need to take heed to this, man. So I just wanted to put this little situation out for now, to touch on it, because I now that it's all unfolded, I can go back and look, and I see so much stuff that is just right in our face. And I'm going to share that with y'all. Now, before I go, I want to just play this. You see the video that's playing on the screen. I'm not going to play the audio of what Boss Top is saying because it's kind of disrespectful. Well, it's disrespectful. So I'm not going to play the audio. I'm pretty sure everyone has already seen this video. Now, this is the video that came out, maybe I'll say about a month after Duck was murdered. And everyone kept saying, Boss Top is snitching, Boss Top is this. And I'm looking at the video and I'm listening. And I really don't, he was disrespectful, but I didn't understand it. The reason I didn't get it was because the gentleman that you see in the back, the tall gentleman that when Boss Top turns around and says, you should get him on camera, that's to Carlos Alford. So that's why everyone was saying that. I'm sitting here like, what are they talking about? So I can understand if you're not from somewhere, sometimes you just don't know because they all already knew. Everyone knew. And also the second vehicle is in the shot. I couldn't find the original video, so I had to get this video and it's kind of cut. But on the left right here where that arrow is, that's the gray Chrysler right there. So it's like, why are you doing this, fam? Like, why would you do this? But you did it for a reason. And now justice is about to be served, I believe. So all I can say is you make dumb mistakes, you get dumb shit to happen to you. Now, it's also alleged that Boss Top was picked up along with DQ and a gentleman by the name of Gleesh. Now, they're not in the indictment papers yet. Remember, this is a RICO, so they're probably just getting questioned. And if they don't have what they're looking for, then it's a possibility you'll see those names come up in this indictment sooner than later. But before I go, I just want to say that sometimes it's not always a conspiracy. I learned a lot from this. Sometimes it's in your face. Sometimes it just is what it is. So, again, I learned a lot from this, and I'll get better. So until next time.
All I talk is crack, I can get the brick out. Yeah, it's crazy reminiscing every decision I made. Yeah, I was fucked up. I put in the work and never no nigga can ever just say that I looked